Greetings, Vault Hunters all across the 6 galaxies. Welcome to the Bordercast. We are live at our usual time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm Mitsu.
And I'm Tessica, coming to you every week to break down all things Borderlands.
Go Team Borderlands! See, I made like a Vault Hunter symbol there because it's like that, but you could actually just flip it upside down and now it's Vault Hunter. I did it. I made a joke for the people watching. Content Creator Team has grown as we announced last week, and we're going to talk with 2 new members of the team who I have right here with me right now, ThiccFilA and Moxsy, about what the team means to them and what they look forward to creating with the teammates and the community at large.
What's going up, guys?
Hi.
Yo, guys, how we doing?
Hey, guys.
You guys are awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work, but want to know another dream? The most recent hotfix. We've got buffs and more buffs and more buffs. We're going to break them all down and help you decide what your next farm target should be. And we're announcing 2 new members. We're very excited. We'll get to that in a little bit. So psyched, though.
It's going to be a lot of fun. As always, we just wanted to take a minute to thank all of our new listeners on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, those watching live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Steam, or later on the VOD on YouTube. Yes, I see those comments too. If you are enjoying the program, we would love for you to give us a big ol' fat like, follow, and favorite because you like us. You really like us.
So how are you guys doing, Moxsy, Thick? What's your week been like? What's your weekend been like?
Moxsy, you want to go first?
Sure. Doing very well. I've been really enjoying this new 100% dedicated drop rate farm, trying to put out guides for that. I've probably done the most farming I've done in a while because now it's just such a great time. And then just trying to relax as well sometimes, every once in a while.
Relax? What's that?
Never heard of it.
Well, what can I say? 100% dedicated drops. It's like every player's dream, right? The only thing I've heard from people is to keep this event forever. So, I mean, I think you know that that's how that's a good event, you know? When people just want more of it.
Yeah, fair. What do you do once you have everything is the question.
Well,
I mean, you never really have everything, but
well, then
I decided... Sorry?
Then you get to start killing everything however you want.
See, I decided to start a one life run through of the game with a very OP character, and everything just melts in front of me, and it's glorious. And people are like, "This is too easy. You literally can't die." And I'm like, "Well, that's true. Maybe I'll let you guys turn on the badass events or something, and let you throw something at me that's maybe a little bit harder." But I don't know.
OP character, who could that be?
It's Moe's, actually. I've gotten really into Moe's lately. Very into Moe's lately. It's a
She's
fun
awesome
build.
right now.
Yeah.
Fire in the skag done, anyone?
Everybody's in a really good spot, though. Is there any character who feels like they're lacking in any specific department? I have yet to really experience somebody feeling like they did at the opening of Borderlands 3. Like Zane, I probably bashed my head against the wall playing Zane when I could have had an easy life, easy clap playing Flak, but I did it with Zane. Still sticking with him. ThiccFilA, I'm sure you can back me up on this one.
Yeah, 100%.
And now think of how far that drunken Irishman has come over the course of the past year. He's almost a completely different character in how they turned him around and made him so viable.
Yeah, pretty much. There was a lot of really cool stuff in the beginning. Like you could actually use the clone to get infinite ammo and spam some rocket launchers or TD or chucks. And there was a really fun grenade build with the hex grenades before, when they were really strong at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
There's some good stuff you could do with them still.
Mm-hmm. It's been a good week. Yeah. I'm still playing my Flak. I think we talked about this last week. When I came up to the Great White North, I did not have many of my characters on a cloud save. And that means that everything that I worked for back at home, Guardian ranks, weapons, bank, everything, all of that stuff is back in New Jersey. So I had just finished leveling up a Flak, and now I'm like, but I really had fun playing Flak. I guess I'm going to have to level a new one. So I had to level up a new one, and it's been fun. I really like that initial gameplay loop where you get a legendary and you're just gibbing things. And even without any Guardian ranks, even without Overkill, even without Slam, all of that stuff, Flak still feels like he's very strong. And that kind of makes me happy because I know that now I've experienced what it's like 11 months down the road, what it's like to play Borderlands 3 for the first time again, right? And so you can kind of feel what the loop is and how everybody's enjoying that from where it is now, comparatively speaking, to where it was 11 months before.
There are still new people jumping into the game now, so it's definitely a good thing to kind of take a step back and experience it with fresh eyes.
Were you doing any leveling while the 100% drop rate event? So I feel like that would be pretty interesting.
I think that was my first week here, and I did not get a chance to get in on that because I think that was when I flew out. So I didn't get a chance to play because my wife streams, so she was here in the office, and I couldn't play anywhere else. And by the time my streams had come around was Friday, which had already switched over, I think it was Boss Loot at that point, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was already the second week of the anniversary event, so I completely missed that. I was very upset about it. I
was going to ask, didn't you start at the handsome jackpot with this playthrough too?
I got to Sanctuary and then I immediately went to... I feel like if you're going to do leveling, just fresh leveling, it helps a lot if you don't want to do the side quests but want to still stay relevant to do at least one of the DLCs because it'll catch you up by the end of it to where you need to be once you've already finished. Because once you get out of Sanctuary, it spikes. If you don't have a legendary or some sort of relevant gun, the difficulty spikes really hard. And so the best way to go about doing that is to go to a DLC where everything scales a little bit. And then, what is it? I like DLC 1 because Timothy, good old Timmy, gives you a corrosive blue gun just so you can melt loaders. So your life becomes much easier. And then you can just grind it out from there. That's my personal preference. You could pick any of the DLCs if you wanted to, or you could do side quests. It's Borderlands. Play how you want. Come for me.
And the DLCs are so fun. Oh my god.
They are.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something really cool they added since launch too, being able to hop straight into a DLC.
Yes.
That's a welcome change.
Definitely. Yeah. I like playing through the story again because it's visual eye candy, but I think the experience of the DLC, each DLC was like better than the last, and they're all really, really good. People always come into my stream when I'm playing one, or even when I'm not playing one, and ask me which one's my favorite, and I'm like, I love all three of my children equally.
I was about to say, it's like picking your favorite child.
Yeah,
to be fair though, and I'm told moms and dads still do this. This is a secret. I'm sorry, moms and dads. I didn't have a mom growing up, but this is what they tell me they do. They still do pick a favorite. They do. They still do have a favorite child. They don't tell you, but they do. And that's why being an only child ruled. Boom. See? It's the neon colors, isn't it? It's the blues versus the pinks. Just like Moxsy's background right now. He's literally the wedding of Wainwright and Jacobs. Or, I'm sorry, I do that every time. Hammerlock and Jacobs.
It's the Lovecraftian sort of aesthetic mixed with the bright colors and all the cyberpunkiness, like especially in the library and all of that, like the technology and the old world and all of it mixed together. I just love it. I love it. I can't help myself. But then, of course, there's Rose and Gehenna and everything about the Handsome Jackpot. They're all really good. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. We have too much good content. Darn, what a problem to have.
Yeah, right? Imagine.
Right. I think mine actually is DLC 1. I don't know if it's because I play Zane and the Seeing Dead's in there. But I also really like the Nukem. That's one of my favorite guns in the game. The craps you get from the end boss is really awesome, too. There's so many good guns in there. The ion cannon, like everything in there is pretty great.
Remember release ion cannon? What a time to be alive.
Yes.
Skipping the DLCs or skipping to the DLC is pretty cool, but I'm a big fan of that first Shiv fight. So
first Shiv fight.
I don't do that.
I one-shot him with my Mayhem 10 weapon, and I kind of felt I didn't feel bad
from the red chest.
Yeah, it was fine.
Hashtag Shiv the Invincible. I'm ready for it.
My build is this crazy build. It's going to be on Ultimate Vault Hunter, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. It's a Triple G build. I'm very fortunate because Triple G and Psychotic Wolf have both been like, oh, you want to play Moe's? Here's a Moe's build, here's another Moe's build, here's another Moe's build, here's a third Moe's build, here's a fourth Moe's build. Just try them all. And I'm like, okay. And it's been lovely. And I'm excited for you guys to see this build because it's crazy.
So that's how you get Tess to play another character besides the Siren.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
He got you. He got you good.
it's true. I mean, if
I'm
you
gonna start
hand
sending you
me,
Thane builds.
do it. I'll do it. I've tried some Thanes because of Triple. I will try all of your builds. It's fun. I may not do them justice the same way that
That's
you
okay.
would, but I will do my very best. I will try.
What is it? Trying is half the battle?
Yes.
Is that how that goes? I don't know. No.
I think knowing.
Oh boy.
Trying,
All right.
trying.
So let's get right into the meat. It was a jam-packed show. And that means finally I get to do. Oh wait, no, we did this last week. No, wait, did we? I don't know.
think we
But
did.
there were hot fixes. We should talk about it. It's a thing. There's a segment. Test button.
Way ahead of you,
here
bud.
it is.
Pull the lever.
Sorry, I get really excited. I really like that. That was such a good thing that you did. The hot fixes. I love that. Be one of my favorites. Okay, they're buffs everywhere. Quick, somebody Photoshop me on who was it? Buzz Lightyear. And then Tess could be Woody. Tess could be Woody and just put buffs everywhere. There we go. Have fun. There's your homework project. Yeah, there were hot fixes last week. There were a lot of them, and they were apparently really good. Bonus boss mini loot event began. They had some broadened player concerns. You know the deal. To apply them, make sure that you wait at the main menu until you see that nice little sign that looks just like that graphic you just saw that says hot fixes applied. If you are listening, there's a wooden sign. It says hot fixes applied. It's painted in red. What do you want from me? So if you're experiencing any issues or want to provide feedback, as always, support.2k.com. With these hot fixes, the EchoCast Overload mini event has come to an end and is replaced with the Anniversary Celebration Bonus Boss Loot event. During this event, players will have an increased chance of legendary loot dropping for bosses, which will be live until August 13th, so another 48 hours or so, when it will switch to Loot Monster Mayhem, which I am very excited for because I like killing loot tanks, and that will happen with the next set of hot fixes. Soon. Very soon.
Very soon.
Yes.
In a couple of days.
Yes. They discounted a listed item of the day in the Veteran Rewards machine, which is pretty cool. Veteran Rewards machine is super nice. They updated Beastmaster's Interplanetary Stalker skills so that weapon damage is affected by big game while using the Cosmic Stalker class
Big
mod.
change.
Nice. Big change. You want to talk about that for a second, Moxsy? You sound really excited about that.
Sure. It was really, really awesome change.
Cool.
Basically, there was the Cosmic Stalker, super awesome, like mobbing class mod for Flak, but there was a skill that was boosting Flak's hunter kill skills or hunter power skills, and interplanetary stalker was giving Flak a bunch of damage and it could roll on that class mod, but it wasn't getting the percentage boosts from the actual class mod that it was buffing. So you would have a whole skill that basically wasn't getting the boost from your class mod or any of the skills that it was boosting. And now it does. And the damage on Cosmic Stalker right now is awesome. And Flak's whole thing is doing a ton of damage and melting enemies before they can kill you. And using that class mod feels really, really good right now.
Nice. I might have to
Quintessential
go
definition
back to
of
Flak. I might have to go back to Flak at some point. I haven't played Flak since like the beginning of the game. Not really. I like go back to him every now and then, but then I don't know. I've never put together like a really solid Flak build. I need to work on it at some point.
Got some if you need any.
There it is.
Maybe
There
I'll
it
try
is.
one of Moxsy's.
You guys should try out the Stalker class mod if you're Flag players watching as well. So the Bounty Hunter, when you start off mobbing, you'll start off a little bit quicker because you can actually trigger your kill skills with the Bounty Hunter, kind of like the Seeing Dead. But with the Stalker, once you get those 3 kills yourself, your damage just like ramps so hard up. So like
Nice.
maybe if you're just trying it out, you don't notice it immediately. You won't notice it immediately. But once you get a couple kills, it just goes way up.
Nice. Cool. Good to know.
This next change, I assume it has something to do with Interplanetary Stalker, if I recall. Added tags to punk enemies to mark them as humanoid. Isn't there a buff?
That one's actually Hunter's Eye.
That's Hunter's Eye? Okay, I just wanted to... Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But it's the same principle. That just allows Flak to get a little bit more damage off of them. And I'm sure there are other talents that might have interactivity with it as well.
Yeah, it was picky against the bandits.
Yeah, for some reason, but now it should be clean. Addressed a reported concern where the gunner would lose bonuses from Sleeping Giant after entering Iron Bear. That sounds like a really big one from Mose, who did not need the love anymore, but keep it coming, I guess.
Yes, no, please.
Yeah.
Don't touch Mose. Mose is perfect. She's
Mose
amazing.
is great.
I mean, if you want to continue to buff her, sure, but please.
I want to know who loved the sleeping giant so much that they noticed that.
Yeah, I haven't used that weapon in a
No,
while.
don't touch Mose. We love her, please. Please. She's in a great place. She's amazing. I'm having way too much fun.
Just a reported concern that switching mayhem levels would cause some areas to spawn more iridium than intended. That's a little unfortunate for those of you who are out there iridium farming, but I think the Belix, isn't there a really good farm for iridium that the Belix have in DLC?
It's just the Belix. They drop like, I don't know, 50 or 100 iridium. It's like so
like
much.
a ton of it.
You can just save quit and kill them again.
I mean,
Yeah.
more iridium, more better. But I guess it can be addressed. It's fine. It's fine. As
Listen,
long as they don't
I
touch
have-
Mose.
I have thousands of iridium waiting for me anyway, so.
Oh, that's the other thing. During my new flak playthrough, the gun, the Iridian Fabricator had
Yeah.
received its buff. So as soon as Typhon de Leon gave it to me, I think I had like 440 something Iridian.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just like pulled it out, and you get legendaries. You easy clap legendaries that carry you for the rest of the game. Like, it's great.
Kind of reminds me of when like Borderlands 3 was first kind of revealed and shown and given to like streamers to play it. I remember watching some streamers, they had that thing, they were just spamming out legendaries all over the floor.
Oh yeah.
Like when they were in like the beta or whatever.
Oh, I think that
So
was
it
at
was
the
released to the
reveal event.
public.
That was in
Yeah.
LA. So the secret breakdown of it is there was a button that you could hit, and some people towards the end, like people working for Gearbox who were cleared to do this, they'd walk up and they'd be like, "Hey, you want to try some other stuff?" And they'd mash the That's what it is.
There was
And
like
you
a
just
magical key
vomit
button.
legendaries. Yeah. And you just vomit legendaries everywhere, and you could just start picking them up, and that's how we found out a little early that there were some returning guns. Like the conference call dropped, and chat lost their minds predictably because everybody loved the conference call. But yeah, there are a bunch of other. And then finally, they disabled the ability for enemy ads to spawn infinitely during the King Bobo fight.
Very much. Yeah.
Yes.
Which can be annoying sometimes.
Yeah. That's no good.
Yeah. Tess, tell me there are weapon changes.
Yeah, we've seen significant improvements to performance after the adjustments made to projectile weapons in the previous patch. Today brings a set of changes, or last Thursday brought a set of changes to various pieces of gear that were negatively impacted by those necessary changes without sacrificing the stability of the game. We've also included a few buffs to other pieces of gear that we felt was needed attention as well. Okay, so lead sprinkler increased weapon damage. Cool. Reflux increased the chance for projectiles to chain. Very
So-
cool.
Change.
Hold on. They nerfed projectile, like, wait, so is it a chance for projectiles to change, but it's
So-
still the 4?
No. So what happened was in the previous patch,
Okay.
basically what would happen is if you would shoot a weapon like the King's Call, you know when you shoot someone in the head with the King's Call, it creates 3 projectiles that come back down.
Correct.
Well, if you had bonus elements, if you had 1 bonus element, you would get 6 projectiles. If you had 2 bonus elements, you would get 9, and it only went up from there. So that was a huge thing in the game. It's what made the recursion so powerful as well. I had to bring it up, Moxsy. But
That's very good.
but yeah, so like, you know, it's sad to see some of them go. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like, it was seriously like I have noticed tremendous performance like increase since then, and it was just something that was completely like unintended and honestly just needed like fixed in my opinion. But so that's what they fixed, and because of that, some of the weapons listed in the hotfixes, you know, took hits because of that. So that's what they buffed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they buffed them back up without sacrificing the stability, because honestly, stability is a thing it's kind of like an ongoing concern, right? For the life of the game, that's something that they're going to have to keep sort of tweaking, because as new guns come out, as you know, old guns have crazy effects happen to them because of new mods or new anointments or what have you, unintended things could happen that are incredible, but may have just so many effects happening. There's already so much math and so many underlying like pieces of code that go into everything that happens in Borderlands, and then so many visual effects, and stability can definitely take a hit So these were necessary changes, and now they're kind of bringing some of the cool guns back up to where they want them, where we want them, without sacrificing that stability that they so awesomely brought into the game. So that's cool. That's very cool. The Brainstormer increased the chance for projectiles to chain. Cool. Very good gun. Hyperfocus increased weapon damage. Carrier increased weapon damage. Unseen Threat increased the damage of homing bullets with critical hits. Wagon Wheel, which I don't remember, increased weapon damage. Cool.
It was a very forgettable gun, honestly. I was never really impressed by the Wagon Wheel.
Where is that? Where's that from?
It's a Jacob's pistol.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, and it's just it's always lagged behind like the Unforgiven if you're going to use that, one of my favorite guns in the entire game, or of course Maggie. It's very hard to compete with the Maggie in the Jacob's pistol department.
Yeah. I'll have to take another look. The Bearcat lowered the ammo cost from 4 to 3. Rowan's Call increased accuracy. Lucian's Call reduced the spread of projectiles, increased weapon damage. Very nice. King's and Queen's Call increased weapon damage.
Are they back?
Yeah, maybe.
Are they back, gentlemen? Are they back?
Yes, in my opinion.
Yes.
Shaky, Moxsy, you're a little shaky.
Moxie's like meh.
Yeah.
They're really good for the situations that you want to use them in. They're really good. They're not as good as they were, but they're definitely still now usable for bossing and for mobbing, in my opinion.
Fair.
Okay.
Tig's Boom increased weapon damage. Complex Root decreased weapon charge time. Ooh, I love this gun.
Did it
So good.
really need that? I thought the complex route was already ridiculous.
Well,
So the complex route actually got bonus projectiles with bonus elements, I'm pretty sure. So it actually did take a small hit at one point with the patch. It's still very good, though. It's still very good.
And with the area of effect damage, I don't know if you've seen this, but if you have like area of effect damage, which boosts splash radius on your artifact, it just turns into a whole screen nuke still. With like Mo's and toward cross promotion and the area of effect, you can't actually shoot the weapon anywhere that it won't kill you. Like if you shoot it straight into the air, the area of effect damage is so large that it will still kill you.
This is wonderful.
I actually think this change with the root was a little bit underrated for most people. It was actually pretty nice. Like you can spam it a little bit more, and it doesn't use too much ammo, to be honest, like for the damage it does. And one thing a lot of people might not have noticed is Zane's clone actually shoots it like 10 times better now because of the weapon charge speed.
cool.
A clone user, that's a good one now.
Good to know. Moonfire, increased rate of fire. This is a gun that drops from Guardian Takedown, I believe, right? Moonfire? Is that right?
Yeah, or Malawon.
Malawon
takedown?
Takedown. Okay, so another one that I kind of like. I remember having a drop and being like, "What is this? Should I keep this? I don't know." And trying it and being like, "I don't know." So maybe another gun to go back and take another look at because it might be awesome now. Fastball, increased grenade damage. Mongol increased weapon damage, and the Cutsman increased weapon damage. One of my favorite guns ever. Oh, I did not know this. I have like probably bordering on the 100 Cutsmans just like sitting in my bank for when they're useful
Just
again.
waiting.
So yeah.
You should try it out now. They, I'm pretty sure they only increased the damage on the Cutsman by like 20% or something. I might be wrong by a little bit, a couple percentage points.
Might be worth a try.
When I was using it, it was like it was doing its job. Like, you know, obviously it's maybe not as good as like a Monarch or a what's the other one? The Backburner for boss killing. But if you liked the Cutsman, you should play with it right now.
It's losing. There's something weird that's going on with it.
Yeah, the hotfix isn't sticking.
Yeah, if you start the game up and then shoot it and then you save and quit, when you come back after saving and quitting, it'll lose that patch, that buff.
Well,
and then if you quit the game and then you boot it back up, your first time playing.
Yeah, it's like a small bug right now.
Yeah.
With some of the hotfixes there.
So they're not sticking, but if you just quit out the game and then come back, then you're fine again. It's just if you save quit, like if you're farming, for example, it just
yeah.
Okay.
But if you're doing like Malawon Takedown, you could just travel to Sanctuary and travel back to Malawon Takedown, so you don't even have to save quit.
Okay.
Cool. Good to know.
I was wondering about the fastball real quick too, because that's a grenade that's been around for an eternity, and it's kind of a running joke because like you throw it and it's really cool in your first couple of playthroughs because it does an obscene amount of damage if you land it, but then you throw it at Mayhem 10 and it's kind of like
the wiffle ball.
So it's wiffle ball. Yeah, it's like getting hit. Yeah, exactly. So is it more in line with where it needs to be, or has it been upgraded from wiffle ball to like, I don't know, Nerf dart?
It's still a running joke.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'll say about it.
That's unfortunate.
You can make things happen with it on Moe's, but it's more Moe's than the actual grenade.
Okay. I was just curious about that because I saw a lot of people joking and saying that it's still kind of like not great. So I just wanted to make sure that was actually what was going on, or people were just being sarcastic and now it actually like wrecks.
I mean, they can't make every single item in the game totally insane, or can they?
I mean, technically they could, but no.
Lest I remind everybody present about the pipe bomb once upon a time.
Oh my god, that was so great.
That's how I farmed my first dozen Queen's calls, the pipe bomb.
That's how I killed Grave Ward the very first time, because I got to Grave Ward kind of underleveled, and I totally did not. I think I was using some gun that was very short range, so I did not have a good way to kill Grave Ward when I first got to him. And so I was like whittling away at his really long health bar very, very slowly. And my chat was like, Tess, you need to go and get this grenade, and then you'll have a much better time. You'll kill him a lot faster. It'll be like much more normal. And I was like, okay, of course I'll listen to my chat. I go and I get it.
And then you throw it a couple times.
Yeah, I literally like twice, and he was dead. And I was like, what just happened?
Like, I don't think this is intended.
During my flak playthrough, I got It's Piss, of all things, to drop. I had one question about It's Piss real quick, because it looks like it irradiates them, but it doesn't have a radiation element on it. So is it 20% damage on top of irradiation, or is it
No.
It's
so
a
it has
separate
nothing
debuff entirely?
Yeah, it's a debuff.
Okay.
It's like slag.
It's like Girardi in Team Fortress 2.
Prominent.
Okay.
Also, that yellow aura from the piss grenade is not radiation. It's
Go ahead.
Piss.
I wish I had my car crash right now.
Let you fill in the blank.
No, it is in fact.
Yeah, it's actually pee.
Radiation. Yeah, it's pee. Yeah. So there's a lot of good hotfixes. Obviously, you can see that they were put in there with love and care. All of them are buffs. Everything is a buff again. I know a lot of people have issues with the nerfs, but we've gone quite some time now without any really substantial nerfs. It's all been on the up and up.
It's so nice
as time goes on.
You.
Yeah, and there hasn't been this.
We love you.
This ridiculous feeling of power creep either, where it's like they have to compensate by doing it. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I imagine you're all very happy with it too, right?
Yeah, one other weapon I want to shout out is actually the Lucian's Call. The Lucian's Call on Zane, at least, you can get through the mobbing and true mellow on takedown with it.
Wow.
The mobbing, not the bossing, but...
Well, yeah. The mobbing's the harder part. Bosses aren't so bad. There's no real time limit on them. You just whittle them down forever.
Maybe not on the bridge. The bridge is a little bit rougher.
Always a bridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's always a bridge. Yeah. Okay. So moving right along, the main that was the main attraction. But we have another one. We, of course, brought you, Moxsy, and you, ThiccFilA, here, and you were kind enough to join us today to talk about what you guys have for feelings about the team. I wanted to take a couple seconds first to say I have been listening to every single DM that I have received. I have received a lot of them over the past week of people giving recommendations to content creators that they feel are people who we should take a look at to consider bringing on board in some capacity, perhaps even a full capacity as time goes on. And I can say I've read every single one of them. I swear I have. I have plenty of time in Canada to do so. And you guys have been amazing. The content that you have shared, the links, all of it. I have had a chance to stop in with some of those streams. And they really are good people. and we'll see what we can do with them going forward. I'm listening. Believe me, I'm listening and watching. I promise. I can't emphasize enough, because some people, they say that. They're like, oh, it just falls on deaf ears. No, I swear. Every single one of them I read and I appreciate. So keep them coming. Keep those recommendations coming. I'd love to hear about them. Even if you think somebody's already been mentioned, some of them are already in chat. Wink. By all means, just keep your suggestions coming. It makes us feel a lot more comfortable about who we want to bring on, and there are a lot of good people in this community that deserve that opportunity as well. And speaking of people who get that opportunity, Tess, who's the first one?
Triple G.
Let's go.
Welcome to the team, because you're amazing and we love you, and we're so happy that you are now a full-fledged member of the creator team. A certain _GZ on Twitch, _G on YouTube. Definitely make sure you guys check him out. You will be seeing more and more and more of this awesome content creator. He's also on our next episode of Ultimate Vault Hunter. And can I mention the other one? Can I?
Ooh.
The other one?
Oh, I guess. Go ahead.
Psychotic Wolf. Thank you so much for being amazing, and another amazing new member of the team. If you guys want to check him out, Psychotic_Wolf on Twitch, on YouTube. I believe it's pwolf82 on Twitter. And you can also check out his episode of Ultimate Vault Hunter, which was the last episode. It's available on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook VODs, and on the podcast sites everywhere. Go make sure and check them out and say hi to them in their streams. Please tell them huge congrats on joining the team. We love you guys. We're honestly so honored to have all of you on the team. Triple G, Psychotic Wolf, ThiccFilA, Moxsy, Tweety, Glitching Queen, all of these amazing content creators. I haven't even named all of them. There's a lot of them, and they're all awesome. Welcome, you guys. We're so glad to welcome Psychotic Wolf and Triple G finally into the ranks.
Congrats to both of these guys. They worked so hard.
Absolutely.
They worked so hard for it.
So again, just keep those recommendations coming. As you can see, those were people that were recommended to me by both of these gentlemen sitting here, actually, along with other content creators and viewers. And you can see now what we've done as a result of that. They are very deserving, and we're very happy to have them on board. Both of them are amazing human beings. And we will have them on a future episode of the Bordercast, as well as Tweety, who we'll have back on for the 83rd time. But, you know, you wouldn't even notice because she's that amazing, as well as Depressicles. I'm sure we'll reach out to you very soon, because we'd love to have you on and meet you and talk with you more. Yeah, and other members of the team that will be coming on. Hopefully we can steal Glitching Girl for a little bit, but we'll see what happens with that too, because we'd love to have her on, as well as other teammates that we haven't had on yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
But getting back to the ones that we do have on right now, Moxsy, Thick, I figure we'll open with this first question. I'll pose it to you, Moxsy, just because you're further to the left and I read left to right because I'm from America. How did you first hear of the Borderlands Creator Team?
I first heard of it when the game kind of came out, and there was these creators who were playing it and getting it early, and always kind of like interested on it. I didn't know if it was a thing that had been on, like, going on for super long time, or if it was just like a brand new thing. Found out later that it was more of a newer thing. But yeah, I found out from the Borderlands Twitch channel, and there's like a little, like, almost like a roster thing in the schedule, seeing who was streaming on the Borderlands official channel, and also from like when the game was first releasing.
Very cool. What about you, Thick?
Honestly, the same. It was kind of just one of those things that already existed that I never really questioned or thought about. It was just like, you know, big names like Jolts and K6 were on there. In my head, that was just like, yeah, that's like a given. Those are some of the biggest Borderlands creators, you know?
Did you guys make it a goal of yours to join right from the start, or was it something you eventually decided to do? Or did you think, okay, I'm going to be one of those guys, like, immediately?
I'm a little weird. I was kind of obsessing about it. I really wanted to be part of it. In fact, I tweeted out on New Year's that was my 2020 goal, was to join the content creator team.
That's
and yeah, it was always something I was striving for and like keeping in the back of my mind as like a thing to keep grinding and making content. And it's really, really awesome that I got the opportunity to be on the team.
So for me, I was a YouTuber at the start of the game. I didn't even start streaming on Twitch until maybe 5 months ago now, at the beginning of April. And as far as I knew, like I said, it just kind of existed. And I think it was called the Stream Team until recently, right?
That's correct, yes.
So I really never thought about it, to be honest, because I was not a streamer. I really didn't even plan on streaming at first either. It was kind of just, I did YouTube live streams for a while, and a bunch of people told me to switch over to Twitch. And ultimately, that's why I switched, because people were telling me. And then I also just thought about like the community on Twitch. Like there's chances I could get raided. There's chances I could raid people. Like it's a lot more of a tight knit community over here as well.
Yeah, that's definitely true of Twitch. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's one thing you could just say, the Borderlands community in general, it's very tight knit.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody. Everybody loves everybody. They're really, we're kind of unique. I can't think of, and please don't correct me on this one, people, because I'm going to be sad if somebody does, because I want to live in my bubble just a little bit longer. I can't think of any drama really between any of the content creators. And it's been a long time since that's really happened. Everybody just kind of gets along. And if they don't really, or they just kind of like do their own thing, nobody messes with them, nobody bothers them, nobody smack talks them. Everybody just does their thing, and everybody has fun doing it together or separately too.
Yeah, it's a really positive community. Like anytime I go into a stream and I lurk, I just see the streamers being positive and the community members being positive, and it's really nice. It's really nice. So, like, if you need to pick me up, just watch a Borderlands stream. Honestly, any one of the people in the directory is amazing like that. It's really cool to see.
I absolutely love Borderlands community. It's funny how like tight knit it is. In fact, I just like literally yesterday I actually joined Swifty5's stream. He was playing with ThiccFilA and Triple G's in a game that isn't Borderlands, and like I heard them on the mic and I was like, oh, it's so cool that like everyone's like, even like not on Borderlands and other games, like such part of a community and such great friends.
We were having some fun.
Yeah.
That's great though. That's the kind of friends that you make. You just take them wherever you go, whether you're playing Borderlands or maybe you're playing something else. But that's okay. Like that's perfectly fine. Thick, I'll throw this one over to you, bud. What does being a member of the creator team mean to you?
So there's like a kind of a lot that goes into that. For me, number one, it's like an honor. Like, thank you guys for having me. But number two, it's like, it just goes back to keep being a positive role model, because we do have a positive community. And like, ultimately, like I want it to stay that way. Like when I stream, it's hard to not be positive with just everybody in the chat, you know, even like I never get, even on my YouTube comments, I read and I go through like all of my YouTube comments, and like almost none of them are negative. Like I'll get a couple troll comments here and there, but like they are far and few like between. And so I want to keep that in the community, just the positive nature of it. On top of that, being part of the stream team for me is like, I now have the opportunity to put some of my ideas out there when it comes to just different stuff, you know, game balance, but even forget about that, like different challenges or challenge runs we can do. Like I want to come up with cool stuff that a lot of the viewers can take part in at home and stuff too, you know?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I love the idea of community challenges. I'm looking forward to maybe eventually another hunt. I know Joel's been working on that. I'm excited.
After DLC 4.
Yeah, very excited for that eventually. But like I feel like any community thing is really fun, you know, because you're like competing or doing stuff co-op or whatever, but it's all in good fun. So I wanna see more stuff like that happen, more community challenges, more like things where we
can't wait for the hunt.
Yeah, more things we can interact with each other to do, which would be cool. Definitely would be cool. Same question to Moxsy.
Pretty much what Thick said, but also to add on to that, part of it is that I have a little bit more interaction and direct line to the makers of the game, which I think is really, really awesome, and means that I can, instead of just putting out my ideas to YouTube and hoping that things get seen and things get noticed, I can have a bigger role in the game. Sorry,
Definitely.
I get what you mean. It's basically it's nice to be able to have a more direct line as representatives of individual communities to the people in positions of power at Gearbox who make decisions about the game. So it kind of like funnels up. You have all of the people who watch you, me, Thick, Tess, everybody on the team. And then we all have this sense as streamers of, and content creators in general too, I should use that term because it is a more broad term now. We can feel what our community is feeling about things. They'll raise their voices and they'll say, wouldn't this be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? We could go, oh, that sounds like a brilliant idea. And then we can take it up a step further. And so it funnels up from the community to us, to the people who make those decisions, and those people will hear it, and maybe they'll make a decision based on it. Maybe it's not something feasible. Maybe it's just not something in the interests of the game that they feel at that point. But the point is, it definitely goes a long way towards being heard, and I think that's what you're trying to get. That you feel heard and seen, which is nice, right?
Yeah. I think we, as the streamers on the team, are kind of a bridge between the community and the devs. And the devs read and watch and listen and take in as much as they possibly can, but it's also kind of cool for us to be able to go to them, okay, our community, so many people in my community are wondering this or are loving this or would really love to see this change maybe happen someday, and they're like, okay, and then like literally they'll write it down, and then eventually you might see it. And it's happened on multiple occasions where like one of us will bring up something and we'll see it become real, and it's just an incredible feeling to be able to contribute in that way, because all of these ideas come from you guys, from the community ultimately, and it's really nice to be able to like connect you and the devs in that way. I think we're very lucky that we get to do that.
That's one thing I want to point out that's really awesome is like how open and receptive they are, like actually to the community, like whether you guys think so or not. They're really open, and they really do like listen and read and check everything, and like that's one thing I haven't seen in many other games.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool to have open-minded developers that ultimately all they want is for us to have fun. If we can tell them how we might have more fun, if they can see a way for us to have more fun, they're going to make it happen, which is so cool. Very cool. Mm-hmm. What do you guys look forward to accomplishing as part of the team?
So everything we already talked about, just hopefully staying a positive role model for the community. Hopefully that line of communication between us and the devs, accomplishes a better game that everyone wants to play. Like you said, like, everybody, they just want us to have fun. And I just want to see all that happen. Like keeping this game going for a long, long time, kind of like BL2 did,
Yeah. 7 years.
I could easily see that happening here.
Yeah. People were still playing the heck out of BL2 like a year ago even,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think one of the coolest parts of being on the creator team and making content for this game is helping people with the game. And even like right now, there's tons of new people. We just had like a free weekend. There's people joining in and having people in the community that you can look forward to help with the game, with builds, with anything like that, and helping them reach their end game, reach their personal goals for the game, and growing longtime fans if they're new to the game is super awesome, like opportunity to be able to do.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So if there's one thing that you wanted to do for the team, like organize an event or maybe just like have a play night, think of something that you'd really want to do, that like you would really like push for for the team? Is there anything that jumps to mind? Any besides the hunt? Everybody knows the hunt. Everybody's going to want the hunt. I know that's going to be everybody's answer. But is there anything that jumps out of your mind of just like something you've ever like always wanted to do as part of like a greater dream team that you've just never been able to execute until now?
So I did an event a while ago. It was called like Race to Wotan or hashtag Takedown Challenge.
Yes.
That Thick participated in and won one of the prizes, even won K6's diamond. Yeah.
Maybe you can see it back there.
And
hey,
that was really, really awesome. At the time, I mean, I've grown since then. It was a while ago, but to be able to possibly do something like that, similarly on a wider scope with more community involvement. Last time we had a fully community-driven prize pool, and it was a lot of fun, but being able to do that on a wider scope potentially could be something that I would love to do and love to revisit, because I loved running it and I loved seeing all the competition and cool strategies and different weapons that people use to run it.
There was a meta born with that takedown challenge.
I like it. I would. I don't think I didn't participate in that one, but I would if you did another one at some point. I think I'm finally getting comfy with doing the harder parts of the game. It took me long enough, but I'm getting there.
I think I like the race to Scourge or which one was it where you start with no gear on Mayhem 0 and that one was a little bit more fun for me. The takedown challenge, like trying to get the fastest time, is always great, but there was something about just starting with no gear on Mayhem 0, farming up through the Mayhems, and then going to kill a raid boss. It just had a different sort of feeling to it. Like it felt like almost in a way, like for me at least, that's like how the game was meant to be played.
Mm-hmm.
Like that literally just go out, farm, find what you find, make your build around it. Like I made a Zane build when I was killing Wotan. I ended up using backburners to kill my own clone to proc ASE and just doing a bunch of crazy stuff that I would have never done if I wouldn't have done that challenge, you know?
I think that there's a demand out there for people who enjoy playing the game on that first playthrough, like nice and fresh, maybe no guardian talents, very few skills, just scrounging and trying to make your way in the Borderlands. I know my friend King Gathalion, he loves that fresh feel. When he plays new DLCs, he will actually play at like level 13. He'll start there and just play the DLC that way. And playing through on Flak again, going back to what I was doing this past couple weeks, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to struggle a little bit and like work with just what you get, and that has value too. It makes me wonder what's necessary left for speedrunning to start taking off again, because we haven't had conversations with speedrunners since before Borderlands 3 came out. And I just, I'd love to see more of that community start poking its head out again. I'd love to see more speedrunners show up again and make the game work that way, because it's always fascinating to see how they have to min-max the game to get from beginning to end. But that's a larger topic, perhaps for a different time.
Maybe,
yeah. But I mean, it's an important segue, because that's something we don't usually think about. We think about our end game farms. We think about our Mayhem 10 builds. We think about our Guardian takedowns, our Molly 1 takedowns. Well, what about the people who are jumping in, or what about the people who like that low level experience? Yeah. Just scrounging and fending for yourself. You never know. I'll start this one actually to Moxsy. Is there one content creator, just one, just one, that in particular you just like to shout out real quick, who you may feel would be a good fit for the team in the future?
I would give a shout out to Chadley99, really great friend and streamer. He makes great YouTube content and has really entertaining streams, and I think would be definitely an awesome part of the team.
Okay. And what about you, Thick?
All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I did not know Triple G was being announced today. I probably would have shouted him out, because he's really just an awesome, like, fun dude. Like, he really just runs an entertaining stream. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna have to shout out my boy Garwood. Garwood, a lot of you probably don't know him, but he actually beat me in Moxsy's challenge. He is the best Zane player, not me. Cry. But what was I going to say? Garwood does wild things in this game. He has literally skipped directly from the start of both raids to Wotan and Scourge. He can also literally fly. I know that sounds crazy. I'll send you guys clips after we're done with this. He literally knows how to fly in Borderlands 3.
I see this.
I don't think I've ever seen anything crazier than from Garwood. Like, honestly.
Interesting.
And
Grenade jumping's not a thing in this game because I haven't gotten into. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Is he like? What is he doing?
No.
Oh.
You can rocket jumping. So rocket jumping and nade jumping are both a thing. More so rocket jumping.
Really?
Yeah, you want an Atlas rocket launcher, the Ruby's Wrath, or the Plumage. More pellets equals higher jumps. You can jump with the Web Slinger as well from the Guardian takedown. None of those are used to fly. You actually use the Pestilence to fly.
Oh my God, I just got a really bad idea. We should.
All right, what is it?
We should bring back hide and seek. I didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been trying.
Yeah,
it's I can't find anything to make the names disappear.
That's what that's the only thing we need. We just need the ability to toggle on and off the heads up display, and that would be it. We used to have to go in the console back in the day to do it. I don't know if that's something we can access now, but maybe we could ask. We could just
That
be
would
like,
be
hey,
awesome.
Hi, Gearbox, we love you. Could you make it a way so that we could disable HUD so we could play hide and seek like the old days again? Kate,
That
thanks.
would be so cool.
On behalf of the creator team, we would love that very much. Please, thank you. That'd be great.
We'll talk to them for you, Mitsu.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because you guys are members of the team now. You actually have that. Me, I'm just a journalist, I guess. I just hang out here to ask the questions. I think those are a really good fit. Wait, so you went with Garwood. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Sorry, we went all over the place with that one.
It would be really fun to do that. It would be a really fun activity and event potential. So speaking of events, this weekend, both of you guys got to stream on the Borderlands channel. How was that experience?
Moxsy, you want to go?
Sure. It was very fun. I was honestly, not gonna lie, pretty nervous at first. And at first I was nervous, and then I kind of realized that it's just like I get to do my thing, but on 2 different channels, and I like relaxed into it, and I had a great time, and it was so much fun. Honestly, like a dream come true. To be honest, and really been actually dreaming about doing that for a long time. So it was awesome. I had a blast. I'd love to. Looking forward to doing it again in the future. And yeah, it was awesome.
Very cool. What about you, Vic?
Same for me. It was definitely nice to, give the little flex. I'm on the official Borderlands channel. Borderlands follows me on Twitter. That was really cool. But I actually played viewer games with a lot of people because I wanted to spend my first stream with the community with you guys.
Aww.
So K6 joined for a game. That was pretty cool.
Nice. Very cool. Good stuff.
Cool. That's good. It's good to know that you guys will want to do that again, and I think that that's something we're looking forward to kind of enhancing more often, trying to get more people on to play different things. I would love to spend 4 hours of one of my streams on the channel just playing hide and seek. So again, please make that happen.
Hide and seek.
I don't know.
I'd be so in for that.
Yeah,
it's 100%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
All the different maps too, like Electricity, Skywell.
Oh my God, Electricity. Yes.
Skywell though, come on.
Skywell would be insane. That would be so fun. Oh,
I tried.
No rocket jumping allowed.
I tried a long time ago to get like a 1v1 tournament going in Borderlands 3. It didn't work out very well because everyone just one-shot each other. it was
just whoever pulls the trigger first.
Oh man,
we could do that with like low-level weapons, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Baby characters. Who is the quickest draw? That's the real question.
Probably. I was gonna say Zane, but it's probably Flack, honestly.
Fight with the quick draw pistol.
I know. Yeah. So it's Rose.
Oh, Rose, yeah, that's actually fair.
I wanna
so
see her
yeah,
come back. She was so cool.
I imagine she will. A character like that. I really hope she comes back with Captain Scarlet, and the two of them team up, but then they betray each other, and then we have to. Oh, that's the game. They come back. You have to fight them. They betray each other. Both of them approach you to work for them. You have to choose a side.
Ooh, Rose, no question.
That could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
There. You're welcome, Gearbox. Love you guys. Mwah. How good would that be? A moral choice in a Borderlands game.
That would be nice.
That would be wild. A great extension of DLC 3 where you're already making like minute but valuable moral changes. Beans. That is all I will say about that. Yeah, so in the pre-show, we were talking, and both of you brought up a very interesting point about Guardian Takedown. It's been out for a while now, and it's been a bit of a controversial topic. Some people love it in the community, some people don't. I'm on the side that I love it. I think that it's a lot of fun. I appreciate the new mechanics that they put in. Some of them feel a little static, but I kind of enjoy that slow down to gameplay and like holding a position, because it's something that we haven't really done as much in the game. Other people feel like it slows down the game too much. They just want to blast on through, get to a boss, enjoy their day. So my questions to you first are, all of you, of course, are this. What do you think right now at this moment about the current difficulty and loot distribution of Guardian Takedown? And we'll start with ThiccFilA.
So when it comes to the difficulty, I think it's fine. I think one of the main issues people having really is just falling off the map. I don't know. I feel like we talked about a second ago too, all of the characters have a build to get through Guardian Takedown. Like everybody has enough DPS. And I think the crystal mechanics especially are so like just interesting. Day one of Guardian Takedown, I could not solo it, and I was I couldn't have been happier for that reason. I had to find other ways of how to do it. I even put out a couple of videos at the time saying pets are the meta for the Guardian Takedown because you could actually use Zane's clone, you could use Gamma Burst, you could even use Auto Bear to an extent to literally distract the Guardians so they don't come onto the crystals. Like it was a really interesting mechanic, and just a huge change to literally just bursting through the Malon Takedown. Like I can do the Malon Takedown in like 5 or 10 minutes, but the Guardian Takedown actually takes some investment, and I enjoy that. And then the one downside, in my opinion, is actually some of the loot in it. There are some really good things in there, like the Stinger Shield, and even the Globetrotter in certain setups can be really good. But one thing I actually wanted in the Guardian Takedown was M6 drops. So you could get like the M6 drop from Kilovolt, but it's also a chance to get like a Monarch from the Guardian Takedown. I thought would have been really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Moxsy, how you feel, bud?
I like the difficulty of the Guardian Takedown. It's one of those things that like you have the Malon Takedown, which is fun and difficult, but then there's the Guardian Takedown, which is, I think everyone could agree, was like a step up from that. It provides like new challenges and new mechanics that you had to learn. And it's one of those things that like going into it, it's difficult, but the more that you do it and if you learn it, it becomes easier and easier. And I like first day I think I streamed for like 11 hours, and the 11th hour I completed it. And I do enjoy the kind of, to shout out what Thick said, I think some of the like reward after you put in all that time wasn't as satisfactory, because the weapons they have received some buffs now, but they're still kind of at a point where like if I look at like the Malon Takedown loot versus the Guardian Takedown loot, I would take the Malon Takedown weapons over the Guardian Takedown weapons, because I think they're just stronger and slightly more like interesting, the things you could do with the Ticks Boom and the redistributor. So I think some buffs and maybe some higher chances to get the loot that you're getting from the Guardian Takedown, so that you feel more rewarded for the struggle that you put in, would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus.
The gear at the end of the Malon Takedown, like a lot of people, like a lot of builds will use gear from the Malon takedown. And once you get that Malon takedown gear, it helps you do your next Malon takedown. There's a loop there where it makes it easier versus the Guardian takedown gear. I wouldn't say when you grab it, it like immediately it's like, oh, I just got this piece of gear from the Guardian takedown. Now the next time I'm going to do it, it's going to be easier.
Right. So that seems to be a general consensus kind of topic. And the only way I could see that really working in the Borderlands sphere is if weapons from, and there is a precedent for this in like other games in role-playing game genres where they do things like this, where when you beat something, the armor or the weapons that drop make subsequent runs easier via effects on those armor and weapons. So doing something like that with weapons on the Guardian takedown and the Maliwan takedown and any future takedown should that happen, probably the only way that they could really go about doing so. Because, and I think we talked about this a little bit briefly too, and I just wanted to pose this and see what your guys' thoughts on it was. It's a rock and a hard place kind of situation where if you make the guns too strong in the various takedowns and people are struggling with the takedowns, they're going to be upset because the difficulty is preventing them from getting the best weapons in the game. So you have perceived elitism and difficulty barriers that people in Borderlands games might not typically be accustomed to. But the flip side of that is the conversation that we're having right now with both of you gentlemen, and that those rewards have to feel strong enough to justify the time investment for them in order for people to want to do those events over and over again. So that being said, what do you feel in the Guardian takedown could be improved in order to facilitate more people wanting to play?
Well, kind of just going back a little bit real quick, that's one reason why I think adding the M6 weapons into the Guardian takedown is a good idea. I'm not saying remove them from Killable or Agonizer at all. Like, you can get them from both, you know what I mean? So you can still go farm the most powerful weapon, which is a Monarch, a Backburner, a Plague Bearer, from the bosses, and then you can use that to beat the takedown and maybe get a better version for beating the takedown. You know what I mean? And then going on to the next point, which is facilitating to make the Guardian takedown a little bit more plausible to get through for people with not the best gear. A lot of people talk about checkpoints, and I like the idea of a checkpoint possibly after crystals or right before the bosses, especially when in co-op with some of the platforming and stuff like that. Sometimes you can literally lag off of the map while platforming, which is just something unfortunate that you can't really do anything about. I feel like if there was like maybe a checkpoint right before Scourge the Invincible, then only one person has to do the platforming and everybody respawns,
I just wish there was a respawn timer. Like, instead of you not being able to respawn until that boss gets beaten, have an actual timer, right? So like 45 seconds or like something, something that's long enough to feel the pain of like, you don't want to die. You don't just automatically respawn immediately, but have it on a timer, because checkpoints seem to be something that, like, we don't know if that's actually possible. And I know that they haven't wanted to do it in the past. Maybe there's a reason, we don't know, but maybe just having a respawn timer for your friends that die, so like one person can get to the end and then you just wait for your friends. Or like if one person, like I'll give you an example. I ran the takedown with Triple G and I felt so bad just sitting there because I died because I like looked at my chat and wasn't paying attention, which happens all the time. And then my friend is literally just having to do the takedown by himself in 2-player difficulty while I'm kind of just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. And I'm like, I want to help and I can't. And if there was a respawn timer that was like not him killing the boss, but just like an actual timer that allowed me to come back and he could wait, or like he could try to survive for as long as possible, and then I'd be like, I'm close, just stay alive for like 2 more seconds and then I'll be with you. And then, and it gives you something to like look forward to, even if you're waiting because you died. So
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it still being difficult for like a single player. Like if you fall off, you have to start over as a single player, but it shouldn't be like when you're doing it as a group. I heard this a lot, was like someone dies another person dies, and then you have 2 players doing it in 4-player difficulty for like the entire duration of the boss, and then it gets kind of almost easier to do it solo than it is as a squad of 4. Yeah. So having like a respawn player and like a multiplayer group would also help with matchmaking too, because I know that sometimes I've only done it a few times, but when you random matchmake, if your teammate dies in the Guardian takedown, a lot of times they'll just leave, and then you're stuck with that difficulty.
The timer is actually a really cool idea. I never even thought about that or heard that before.
Yeah, I think it's been marinating, and I just like never quite verbalized it before. But that would be awesome, because then literally, like, this has happened to me so many times where I've been the one that's died, and I just feel bad, right? And I'm just, because I'm very ADD or something, so I get distracted easily, and it is really easy to fall off and stuff like that. But it's not just like, I don't necessarily want them to make the hard things easier, because the hard things are what make it cool, like the crystals and the jumping. It's a different kind of thing, but it's a cool kind of thing. Like, it's a cool challenge. So I don't necessarily want them to change that, but some kind of way for you to get back in there and have some hope and be like anxiously awaiting your return to the game to help your friends would be really awesome.
I had an idea how to implement it. You have to, okay, so we know that they're starting to add tiers to Guardian Towns, right? Well, what if in the survival tree, the next talent was one called "I'm not dead yet"?
Oh my God.
And so it only applies to the takedowns, right? But what happens is, if you die in the takedown, what happens is your dead body, you're just laying there, right? And then after that timer that Tess has been talking about, it's like a minute timer, right? And then you're not dead yet. So after that minute passes, you go back up and go down on a knee, and you get another second wind. And so your team has a chance to revive you at that time. So they can all just like gather around you and defend your dead body. And then you get back up, and then they can res you again. That way it still does the second wind, but it doesn't just like revive you right away. So the teamwork has to be implemented there. But like, that's just an idea that just came to me just now of like how you could do that. And it makes people have to work for it. So it's not like you're just being given that. So that kind of appeals to the content creation, or like just making it more difficult and not just giving it to people. But at the same time, rewarding you for getting that far. And then let's say you even fall off the map. I don't know how they would program this in, because I'm not a programmer, but it would just put your dead body back on the closest spot wherever it fell off the map and just leave you there, just laying there.
It would be really bad.
So not
if
infinitely
you fall off.
respawning and falling and then respawning as well.
Yeah, that would be really tricky, because I could see not only you infinitely falling and respawning, but also your friend that tries to revive you accidentally falling off in the same spot. That would be bad. That would be... Yeah, it would be funny, but it'd be bad.
Scram in chat suggesting respawns should cost a golden key.
Oh no.
You get one a week from Randy. Better make sure you enter those codes. And then one from each Borderlands show.
I just think there should be a timer, or maybe an iridium activated timer or something. Like, maybe it costs you like 3 iridium or something.
That could be cool.
Activate the timer, and then the person that's dead has to do it. Yeah. And then you like let's say you're farming with 4 people and like 2 people die, you have to have iridium in order to revive yourself, and you can like wait until they get to the next area or not, whatever. It's up to the person that wants to revive themselves. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to lightning round the last question, because we are very pressed for time here, and I know everybody has busy schedules, so we're going to knock it out. All right, real quick. ThiccFilA, first to you. What would you decide not to change right now? What do you like the most about the Guardian takedown? And Molly One takedown, if you want to talk about it just very briefly too, and perhaps even emphasize and further advance it, either in these takedowns or going forward. What do you really like about it, basically?
I feel like it's easier to answer what I don't like, but I don't know. I really love the crystal mechanics. I think the main thing I could say here is like, come up with great ideas like that again. That was such a good idea, in my opinion. And for future takedowns, just alternate ways besides just mobbing to a boss. And I love the difference in the takedowns too. Like honestly, the cartel event, if you remember the cartel event, that always felt like just a super short takedown to me. And then we have the Yellow takedown, which is like a more difficult, like medium, small raid. And then the Guardian takedown, which is our big raid. You know what I mean? So I really like the different sizes of like these different mobbing maps with a boss at the end. And yeah, the crystal mechanic was insane. And just, just the way they did everything. It was really awesome. I don't know how to take that to the next level. I'm not that smart. Okay.
You would be surprised when pressed how you can actually come up with these ideas. We've had lots of great ones. Moxsy, question to you. Go ahead. What do you got for me?
I really like that they took a chance with it and did something totally different. The low gravity, all the crazy enemies, once again, the crystal mechanic. That, if I had to point to one thing, I really like that you have different builds and things that didn't shine before that shine during crystal phase. Like Thick was talking about, like pets and auto bear can provide huge relief during that mechanic. And also, like, it was just something new to learn in a Borderlands game, like those crystals and even the bosses and how to do the bosses differently. It wasn't just about, oh, I have the right gun, so now I can do this. It was, I need to know how to do this. And that kind of challenge in a Borderlands game was super, super awesome. And I love that they took it to the next level.
Yeah.
Tess, you got anything?
Well, I agree with that. I really like you know that part, I forget exactly what order it goes in, but the part where if you fall, if you're jumping on the platforms and if you fall off the platforms, so you're supposed to jump on the platforms and like fall down this hole. And if you miss or you fall off a platform before you get to the hole, you drop down into this chamber and there's a bunch of enemies and you have to kill them. And then there's a jump pad going up to going back up to the start, and then you can make it again. I like that mechanic. I like that kind of like you can either skip these enemies if you're good at jumping, or if you fail, you still have a way to get through it, right? But you just have to mob a little bit. You have to pay for it, pay for your re-entry, which is cool. I like that kind of punishing you for being bad at jumping, but not killing you mechanic. So I think that was really neat, and I would like to see, I would definitely be happy to see that kind of thing in future takedowns, like alternative ways of punishment for failure other than just death.
Yes.
where it's appropriate for sure.
So with that, we are very, very pressed for time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining Tess and I here on the program today. We appreciate you taking the time to do so and being here for more announcements about the team. And we look forward to having you on the team and all the cool things therein that will come as a result of that. Bounty of Blood, it's out right now. Seriously, they can't stop talking about it because apparently it's really good. I mean, how many times have we referenced Rose? So if you don't know who Rose is, that means you didn't play DLC 3, which means you should go play Bounty of Blood. It's out. Go get it. Do it now. Guardian Takedown, we just talked about it like for 20 minutes and we went way over to kind of discuss it. So if you're not already turned on to the idea of at least giving it a try or maybe giving it a new try, make it happen. Oh, Borderlands Legendary Collection, my savior while I was flying to Canada, hanging out on Nintendo Switch. Make it happen. Alrighty. Gentlemen, Moxsy, first, where can they find you?
Twitch.tv/Moxsy, YouTube, and Twitter. All Moxsy.
MOXSY.
Yes.
And ThiccFilA, you?
So on YouTube, just ThiccFilA. Just type in ThiccFilA Borderlands, you'll find me. On Twitch, ThiccFilA was apparently taken, and same with Twitter. So I'm ThiccFilA_ on Twitch and Twitter. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Very, very cool. You can find me right here on twitch.tv/Borderlands every Monday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, same time as Bordercast. 4 p.m. Eastern. I stream Borderlands here, and then sometimes I do bonus streams on Sundays. And on my own channel, it's just twitch.tv/Tessichka. I also stream, you guessed it, lots of Borderlands and a few other things.
And if you're not sick of hearing me, which sometimes I can get sick of hearing myself, I am, of course, Mitsu, twitch.tv/Mitsu, twitter.com/Mitsu Show, MITSUSHOW. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for joining us, and huge congrats again to ThiccFilA and Moxsy also for being awesome members of the team, and huge congrats to triple_GZ on Twitch and psychotic_wolf. You guys are both amazing new members of the team. We're really glad and lucky to have you joining us. Thank you for being here. Huge thank you to everybody watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Steam, on Twitch, on all the platforms. Thank you for listening on all of the podcast platforms: Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Music, and Stitcher. This episode will be up on those about an hour after we air. So soon. And thank you guys, seriously. We appreciate you being here. We love having viewers in the chat that we can kind of bounce off of and see what you guys have to say about the crazy stuff we talk about all the time. We love playing with you guys. We love hearing from you guys. As Mitsu said, if you have recommendations of new team members, new community members that we should definitely check out, throw them at us in DMs, on Twitter, all over the place. We'd love to hear it.
Twitter DMs definitely the best place to reach me, as I obsessively check them on my phone at all times. Like I said, I read them all. We love to hear from you. We really take your suggestions to heart. Believe me, like I said, there are a lot of people who are in chat today, a lot of familiar names, a lot of names who a lot of people stuck their necks out for to recommend for the team, and we are listening. With that being said, on behalf of Tess, myself, the entire content creator team, thank you so much for joining us as you do every single week. Now go forth and make some mayhem.